I hope this message finds all of you well. As I speak, we're halfway through the year, and you've done a remarkable job. And that's despite of some heavily stacked odds against us. Employment rates down, economy suffering, the department reeling from $100 million in cuts, and still you reduce crime. Violent crime, as of the end of June, down 9.6%. Property crime, down 7.3%. Part 1 crimes, the aggregate total of those two, down 7.7%. And even more telling is the homicide rate. Compared with the first 6 months of 2010, homicides are down over 8%. Those are remarkable results. And they show that our strategies work. They show that our officers work. They show that the Los Angeles Police Department is the greatest organization that addresses law enforcement in the world. One of the things that I'm the most proud of is what you've done with gang crime. Gang crime this year, down 16%. And as you all know, we've had significant challenges staffing our gang units and working towards these great numbers, but you've come through. So I want to thank you for that. You need to be extremely proud of it. You need to recognize that the Los Angeles Police Department works because of you. I think that it's important that we recognize that the collaboration that we've formed, especially in reducing gang crime, is really important. Our work with Summer Night Lights, our work with intervention, our work with youth programs, all of them help us to make an impact. Now, policing will always be about cops, but remember, it's a team sport, and we have members of the team that really help us. Every time I do a Chiefs message, I'm going to make sure that I highlight some of your good work. Now, I hear about good capers every day, but once in a while something really stands out. Let me tell you about one of those. On June 27th, Hollywood area officers Michael Kim and Jimmy Lamb were working traffic control after a Monday morning hit-and-run traffic collision near Santa Monica Boulevard and Western Avenue. They saw a Dodge Caravan, unrelated to the traffic collision, stopped at a nearby traffic light. Black smoke poured out from under this Caravan, and after calling the fire department, the officers tried to free the occupant from the van. But she was so unaware of the danger and did not understand what the officers wanted to do that they were initially unsuccessful. Smoke was filling the van. Finally, she realized that she needed to unlock the doors, but in the chaos of the moment, she couldn't undo herself from the seatbelt. Kim used his pocket knife and cut her loose. And then, as the flames engulfed the vehicle, and many of you saw this on TV, both officers pulled the victim from the vehicle and used the fire extinguishers from their police car to fight the fire until FD arrived. Officer Kim and Lamb's decisive and brave actions, taken without regard for their personal safety, saved another human being's life. I'm very proud of what they did, and I'm proud of what all of you do every day. And while it's true, crime is down across the city, there's one type of crime that is on the rise, both locally and nationally, and that's assaults on police officers. Now, obviously, this concerns me greatly, because attacks on you, heinous as they are, also are an attack on the system. And anybody that disregards the safety of a law enforcement officer certainly would have no concern for the safety of a citizen. So be careful. Don't make assumptions. Treat everybody with respect, but watch their hands. Pay attention. Make sure that you go home safe. One of the significant challenges that we've had to face this past year has affected our civilian employees. For more than a year, they have endured the hardship of mandatory furloughs. Furlough days hurt everyone. Employees lose vitally needed income, and the department's critical work goes undone. Recently, members of the coalition of LA city unions voted to accept changes in their compensation in order to end those furlough days. This was a significant sacrifice which benefits the department and the city as a whole. This concession, while not ideal, was needed in order to obtain increased stability. I want to thank all of our civilians who voted to ratify the amendments, and I look forward to moving on as a group, focusing on the business of keeping this great city safe. Some of our civilian brothers and sisters who are not part of the coalition still may be subject to mandatory furloughs. Please know the entire department stands with you and supports you during this difficult time. Your continued hardship is on the minds of many, including me. I hope we can quickly come to a solution that eliminates mandatory furloughs for all. This may be old news by the time you see this, but over the past few months, much work and many hours went into negotiations on a new memorandum of understanding for sworn employees. We are finally at a point at which a majority of our workforce has contracts for the next 3 years. Now, as you probably know, I was not directly involved in negotiations, but I did pay careful attention and clearly understand the feelings of uncertainty you were dealing with. I want to thank everyone for your patience and understanding throughout this process. You maintained the professionalism which has made our organization the world-class agency it is, and I am deeply grateful. In early June, the Western States Police and Fire Games were held in Ontario, California. More than 10,000 full-time and retired firefighters and law enforcement personnel, including about 350 officers from our department, competed in 64 sporting events. Having been involved in department sports for many years, and having competed in these games, I take great pride in knowing you are keeping the competitive spirit alive. Some of the highlights of the games included our bowling team taking home 14 total medals, our wrestling team bringing back 10 medals, our paintball team winning a gold and bronze medal, our baseball team earning a gold medal, and the LAPD Hit Squad Co-ed Softball Club going undefeated in their 2-day tournament and bringing home a gold medal. These are just some of the many successes our department achieved. Whether it's the police and fire games, local tournaments, or intra-departmental scrimmages, our department is one that not only competes, but competes at a high level. Keep up the excellent work, and look forward to joining many of you at the upcoming World Police and Fire Games being held later this month in New York.